Before you scoop that protein powder into your shaker bottle tomorrow morning, pause for just a second and think. What if I told you that protein powder can absolutely help some people build muscle and recover faster, but for others, it might be completely unnecessary? What if I told you that many people who take protein powder every single day don't actually need it at all? And what if the biggest question isn't whether protein powder is good or bad, but whether your body truly requires it? Today, we're going to break down the real truth about protein powder, based on science and medical understanding, not marketing hype or gym myths. First, let's understand what protein powder actually is. Protein powder is not a medicine. It is not a steroid. It is not a drug. It is simply a concentrated source of dietary protein. Most commonly, it comes from whey or casein, which are both derived from milk. Other types include soy protein, pea protein, rice protein, egg protein, and plant-based blends. Protein itself is an essential macronutrient, which means your body absolutely needs it to survive and function properly. Protein helps build and repair muscles, produce enzymes and hormones, support immune function, and maintain healthy skin, hair, and nails. Without enough protein, the body cannot repair tissues efficiently, and muscle mass can decrease over time. However, here's something that surprises many people. Most adults in developed countries, including the United States, already meet their daily protein requirements through regular food intake. Foods like chicken, eggs, fish, dairy, beans, lentils, tofu, and even whole grains contribute significant amounts of protein. So if many people already get enough protein from food, why is protein powder so popular? The answer is convenience. Protein powder is quick, portable, easy to mix, and feels powerful. It fits into busy lifestyles and gym routines. But convenience does not always mean necessity. Now let's talk about when protein powder can actually be helpful. Athletes and individuals who engage in intense physical training often have higher protein needs than sedentary individuals. When someone lifts weights frequently, trains for endurance sports, or performs high-intensity workouts, their muscle fibers undergo microscopic damage. Protein helps repair that damage and supports muscle growth. In such cases, protein powder can be a practical way to meet increased daily protein requirements without having to eat very large quantities of food. It can also be useful for older adults, since aging naturally leads to gradual muscle loss, a condition known as sarcopenia. Higher protein intake can help slow this process and maintain strength and mobility. Additionally, individuals recovering from surgery, illness, or injury may benefit from extra protein because the body requires additional building blocks for tissue repair. Some people with poor appetite or certain medical conditions may also find protein supplements helpful. But here is where caution becomes important. Protein powder is generally safe for healthy individuals when consumed in moderate amounts. However, problems arise when people assume that more is always better. Extremely high protein intake over long periods may place extra strain on the kidneys, especially in people who already have kidney disease. For healthy individuals, current research suggests that high-protein diets are not automatically harmful to kidney function. However, if someone has pre-existing kidney issues, excessive protein intake can worsen the condition. That is why individuals with kidney disease should consult a healthcare professional before increasing protein intake significantly. Another common issue with protein powder is digestive discomfort. Many people report bloating, gas, stomach cramps, or diarrhea after consuming certain protein supplements. This is especially common with whey protein, which contains lactose. Individuals who are lactose intolerant may struggle to digest whey properly, leading to uncomfortable symptoms. Some protein powders also contain artificial sweeteners, like sucralose or sugar alcohols, which can cause digestive upset in sensitive individuals. Therefore, reading ingredient labels is very important. Not all protein powders are created equal, and some contain long lists of additives, fillers, and artificial flavors. There is also growing discussion about quality control in supplements. Some independent laboratory testing has found that certain protein powders contain trace amounts of heavy metals, such as lead or cadmium. These levels are usually low and within regulatory limits, but the findings highlight the importance of choosing reputable brands that undergo third-party testing. Certifications from independent organizations can help ensure better product quality and transparency. This does not mean protein powder is toxic or dangerous in general, but it does emphasize that quality matters. Another major misconception involves weight loss. Many people believe that adding protein shakes to their daily routine will automatically help them lose weight. It is true that protein increases feelings of fullness and can help reduce hunger when consumed as part of a balanced diet. However, protein powder still contains calories. If someone adds a protein shake on top of their regular meals without adjusting total calorie intake, they may actually gain weight. Protein powder is not a fat-burning supplement. Weight loss ultimately depends on maintaining a calorie deficit, meaning you consume fewer calories than you burn. Protein can support weight management, but it does not override basic energy balance principles. Muscle growth is another area where confusion exists. Drinking protein shakes alone will not build muscle. Muscle growth requires resistance training that challenges the muscles and stimulates adaptation. Protein provides the raw materials needed for repair and growth, but without proper exercise stimulus, those building blocks do not translate into increased muscle mass. In other words, training creates the demand, and protein helps meet that demand. Without training, extra protein simply becomes additional calories that the body will use for energy or store. Many women worry that taking protein powder will make them bulky. This is a myth. Protein itself does not cause large, bulky muscles. Significant muscle hypertrophy requires intense training, progressive overload, and specific hormonal conditions. For most women, protein supplementation simply supports muscle tone, strength, and recovery. It does not magically transform the body into a bodybuilder physique. Teenagers are another group where caution is necessary. Growing adolescents need adequate protein for development, but most teens can meet these needs through regular meals. Relying heavily on supplements instead of balanced meals may not be ideal. Whole foods provide vitamins, minerals, fiber, and other nutrients that protein powder does not fully replicate. Supplements should never replace proper nutrition. It is also important to understand how much protein the body actually needs. For the average adult, the recommended dietary allowance is approximately 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. Athletes or highly active individuals may require between 1.2 and 2.0 grams per kilogram, depending on training intensity. Consuming significantly more than this does not necessarily provide additional benefits. The body has limits on how much protein it can use efficiently at one time for muscle protein synthesis. Excess protein is not stored as muscle. Instead, it is converted into energy or stored as fat. The smartest approach is to first evaluate your own diet. Track your protein intake from whole foods for a few days. You might discover that you are already meeting your needs. Foods such as eggs, Greek yogurt, chicken breast, fish, beans, nuts, seeds, and dairy products can easily help you reach daily targets. These foods also provide important nutrients that powders may lack. Whole foods offer a broader nutritional profile and contribute to overall health in ways that isolated supplements cannot fully replicate. At the end of the day, protein powder is simply a tool. It is not inherently good or bad. It can be beneficial for certain individuals in specific situations, especially when dietary intake is insufficient or protein needs are elevated. But it is not mandatory for health, fitness, or muscle gain. The biggest mistake people make is following trends without understanding their own bodies and actual nutritional needs. Marketing campaigns often make protein powder seem essential for anyone who steps into a gym, but that is not always the case. Real health is not built on hype. It is built on informed decisions. Before adding any supplement to your routine, consider whether it truly serves a purpose for you. Ask yourself if you are meeting your needs through balanced meals. Consider your activity level, your health status, and your goals. Supplements should support a healthy lifestyle, not replace it. So the next time you hold that scoop in your hand, remember this. Protein powder can be helpful, but it is not magic. It does not replace hard training, balanced nutrition, or smart lifestyle choices. Your body needs protein, but it needs the right amount, not the biggest amount. When used wisely, protein powder can be a convenient addition. When used blindly, it can simply become another unnecessary expense in your cabinet. Understanding the difference between need and trend is what separates smart decisions from impulsive ones. And now you have the information to decide wisely.